Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special video. Today we are tackling how I would add Rosalina, my favorite Mario verse character in the world, to Mario Superstar Baseball. With rampant rumors of a third Mario game coming out with the baseball type of vibe, I think it's safe to assume that Rosalina will make the cut. She's become a mainstay in Mario games as a selectable character. She was definitely in the golf game that just came out. So I think it's safe to say if another baseball game were to come out, she'd be in it. So this is what I would do to put Rosalina into a Mario baseball game. So let's just dive right in, shall we? Let's start with her stats and abilities. I'd put Rosalina in the technique class as it just seems like a sensible fit for her. Her batting, this might surprise some of you, I've actually given it an 8 out of 10. I'm using the game stats because the real stats are just too difficult to get into, but I'm going to be using a lot of character comparisons so you get a vibe of what I'm going for here. So I've given her batting an 8 out of 10, which is the same as both Wario and DK, but I think we know that Wario hits way less home runs than DK does. And we know that there's that big fallout in heavies, like Bowser, Piteh, KB, DK, bro, smash them out of the park, and Pianta, Wario, and BJ are kind of just like, sometimes, but not really. And I feel like there's a lot of area in between, even though numerically there isn't. So I think Rosalina should kind of fill in that in-between spot. Make her a little bit better at hitting home runs than your Warios, your Piantas, and your BJs, but not quite as consistent as a Bro or a Piteh or a DK. So I think that's an appropriate spot for her bat, and the reason I give her this much power is one, she's a space goddess. She's definitely more powerful than your average princess. But two, power's actually the route they went for Rosalina in golf. If you played the new golf, her power stat was really high. So I thought if that's how they see her, that's how I should treat her. So she is a power hit. She can hit home runs, but I'm not putting her in the power category. I'm putting her in the technique category because I believe technique and balance are like, there's not one clear best stat, so that's why I put her here. Pitching, gave her a 6 out of 10, make her as good as like your Mario, your Luigi. Like, she can be a backup pitcher maybe. I didn't think she should be as good as pitching as the other princesses. That's the trade-off she gets for, being able to belt homers. I think she shouldn't be as good as pitching as them. Her fielding, I said, should be an 8 out of 10, which is what Magic Koopa has. The main reason for this, if you look down a little bit, you'll see, is that I've given her Magical Catch. She'd be the second only character to have Magical Catch in Mario Superstar Baseball. And the reason for that, I think, is quite simple. You look to your right, she's got a wand. She does magic stuff all the time, and I think she would use her wand the same exact way Madge does, both as her bat and as a fielding device, and she would get Magical Catch as a result of it. As well as Super Jump, everyone knows launch stars are a big Mario Galaxy thing, so I thought her having Super Jump made total sense. And I think the partnership of Super Jump and Magical Catch could lead to some really cool stuff. And finally, for running, I gave her Boo's running stat, which is low, but Boo is the only character that I know of, other than, Boo and King Boo, that floats. And Rosalina, I don't think her feet have ever touched the ground. So she'd also be floating in this game. So I said, that's why a good similar run speed, give her Boo. Her star hit and pitch, I call the launch ball. Again, launching, big thing in Mario Galaxy. She's got her special rainbow launch, which is what the animation would look like. On contact, you'd see the rainbow launch, and the ball would launch straight up into the air, way higher than a pop fly. You can't see it. And there's going to be several drop spots in the outfield. I'm thinking like 5 or 6. And then maybe like a little cartoony sound effect, like, and as it's coming down, the drop spots will go away until there's only one left, and that's right when the ball lands. Similar to like a Wario or a Waluigi star hit where it splits into the 2 and you don't know until like basically the last moment which is the real one. Except the trade-off for Rosalina's is there's more options to be wrong, but unlike Wario and Waluigi's, if you choose wrong, you're not getting stunned like with a garlic. You're just going to be in the wrong place and have to quickly run somewhere else. And with 3 fielders in the outfield, it shouldn't be too hard once the ball's live. Like, the game will switch you to the fielder you need to be, and you'll probably make a play. I don't expect to get more than the singles or the occasional double, but I think it's a very appropriate star hit for her. Her star pitch, very similar. On release, launches up into the air, you don't see it, and then it comes down, and you have to just kind of like, figure out where it's gonna land. I compare it to the Slugger's Ephus, but Ephus isn't a thing in Mario Baseball, so I think that would be a really good idea for this. And you just give it a little more time to control, and then once it crosses the plate, its final destination is similar to if you pitch right, left. You just gotta kind of, it'll visually be different, and that's what makes the pitch tricky, is trying to be like, oh, well, it's coming down quick, where's it gonna be? So Rosalina's getting a whole team. These videos are going to be a lot more in depth than you think they're going to be. Just as adding Rosalina to the game doesn't mean she's coming alone. She's going to be a captain character, you can tell, because she's got a star hit and 2 abilities. So that also means she's going to need a stadium and a team. So I've given her this team. Her team consists of Polari, the oldest Luma in existence, and her best friend. Luma, who I've given 5 color variations to. I was going to originally give him 6, but I think that I shouldn't break any current Mario Superstar Baseball rules, and Toad and Shy Guy have the max of 5, so these will be treated the same as them, 5 maximum. Then you've got Luma, who's in Super Mario Galaxy 2. He's a big, strong Luma. He's leader of them. He has his own spaceship. And then you got Comet Tico over there, who is a hungry Luma, but with a name. And I thought I chose him over a regular hungry Luma. But for the same purpose as a hungry Luma, I just like the fact that he has a name, Comet Tico. Let's dive into each of them, shall we? The Lumas are going to be Noki clones for the most part. I thought it was appropriate, especially because we're going to talk about Luma soon, that the Nokis be, not the Nokis, the Lumas be similar to Noki. Small characters, smallish bats, speed, which means they bobble a little bit. I literally made all of their stats the same exact as the Nokis. And then I also made the, I give each one an extra one, but I made the color variants similar as well. So, like Noki, there's the blue Noki who's a little quicker, but has the grounder star. Red Noki's not as quick, but has that good pop flat. We just realized now has the Falcon pop, which could be really good. And the green one's got the line drive. So I went that same color route, but then the base Luma also has a grounder, much like the base Noki. And then that 5th color variant, the cream Luma, will have a pop fly like the red Luma does. And the only Luma with the line drive star hit will be the green one, because that's what seems to happen in this game. The green variants get that star hit. The cream Luma will be treated as like purple Toad or black Shy Guy. It's like that random extra color that isn't really in the game. It's special to the character, but I figured 5 was good. The ability that the character's gonna have is super jump. I think that's reasonable because they, turn the warp star sometimes. They also have super jump like Rosalina, but I've also given them a secret ability, which is curve. Curve is only had by, I think, in the game, Boo, King Boo, and Bro, where when they hit the ball, it like does that arc. And I think that the game needs more characters that can do that, because it makes Boo so unreasonably good for a normal character, that I feel that having someone like a Luma, one of those characters that have multiple color variations, have that cool ability might make for an interesting type of character, So I've given them that secret ability curve as well. Chem tree is simple. Rosalina, Polari, Lubba, and Comet Tico all on the team, all Chem. They're all friends with the Lumas. As well as Mario and Peach. Mario because he's the main character of Super Mario Galaxy, and Peach actually discovers Luma in the beginning of the game, so I figured it makes sense for Luma to be friends with Peach. And the Antis are the 3 bad guys in Mario Galaxy that are already in this game, which is Bowser Jr. and Magic Koopa. So that's how Luma's stats and abilities would work. Next up, we got Lubba, who you may have noticed I've just made as a copy of PM, Red Pianta. I thought this was a good idea as well, because you can have that same relationship that you have with Noki and PM, with that like, oh, if I scoop up Noki, it makes PM so much better, and vice versa. So I figured, adding another heavy into the game that's PM-esque would be good. The game kind of lacks in reasonably good power hitters. It's an extra infielder you could have. Literally copy and paste the PM. Abilities are laser, secret ability, wall splat. He's just gonna be PM. Because the Luma Chem all seem good. He's got similar Chem to Luma, but not exactly the same. Rosalina, Polari, Luma, not Comet Tico, Mario, and Yoshi, because Yoshi was introduced in Super Mario Galaxy 2 to the Super Mario Galaxy line. So I figured because Luma was also introduced in that game, it would make sense to give Luma that Yoshi Chem, and then the Antis are the same Bowser, BJ, and Magic Koopa. Comet Tico, kind of, he's himself, you know, he does his own thing, doesn't have too many Chem partners. He's got Rosalina, he's got Luma, he's got Mario, and he's got Toad, because Toad is one of the only other Mario-verse characters that is in Super Mario Galaxy, and I figured, you know, stick the loner with Toad. It's a good, fun little one. And you'll see that I gave him the same exact stats and abilities as Birdo, but without the Egg Star. I always have thought it'd be interesting to see how good a Birdo without that dumb broken egg would be. And because he's a hungry Luma, I thought suction was a reasonable ability for him to have. He sucks up the ball and eats it. But other than that, his normal batting, his pitching, his fielding, his running is all Birdo. And without that star, Birdo's not that great, and he also loses body check, which isn't a great ability, but no star, no second ability. What level of good does that make Birdo? Well, now we got Comet Tico to stand in and see. Thought it was interesting. And the antes, again, Bowser, BJ, Magic Koopa. Finally, we've got Polari's stats and abilities, putting them in the technique class. There's kind of an interesting hybrid character I've made here. They've got the batting of Toadsworth, and the fielding of Toadsworth. I was gonna just originally make him a Toadsworth clone because he's really old, and I thought it made sense because the Lumas are kind of like the Toads. So maybe make Polari like Toadsworth, but I actually changed it a little bit. I made him a little bit faster than Toadsworth. I gave him Goomba's speed, but I took away from his pitching. So he doesn't have he can't really be a good backup pitcher like Toadsworth can, but the batting and the fielding would be similar. And I've given him a wall jump and sliding catch. He's got 2 abilities, you're asking? Is this a Toadette treatment? No, it is not a Toadette treatment because Polari is actually going to be the sub-captain of Rosalina's team. Thus, he gets his own special star hits, star pitches, and he gets 2 abilities. So that's why you'll notice there's the word grounder, pop fly, or line drive isn't next to him, but he's gonna have his own slide for his star abilities. His Chem is Rosalina, Luma, Luba, Comet Tico. Wait a minute, I don't think I gave Comet Tico. Not Comet Tico, I did that wrong. Comet Tico isn't like Polari. Pretend Comet Tico isn't there. And Mario, and the ante, of course, is the same. So I gave him wall jump because he's old, so he can't super jump on his own, but with the assistance of the wall, he can do it. And sliding catch, because I think that's a good right field combination. You know, it's the Mario treatment, it's the Toadette treatment. So I figured it'd be good, be interesting. So let's talk about Polari's star hit and pitch. It's the star bit ball. The hit on contact will split into 5 star bits that are grounders and roll right up the infield, very similar to Luigi's fireball. They go the same exact path every time. I'm thinking one in between first and second base, 1 right to second, 1 right up the middle, 1 right to shortstop, and 1 right in between the shortstop and the third baseman. And then right when they reach the baseline, 4 of the 5 go away and the real ball is revealed. So it's probably gonna work very similar to Luigi's fireball. You know, if you get it, cool. If you don't, it's probably a single. But there's no downside to like running into a star bit to see if it's the right one. You're not gonna get burned like the Luigi fireball. If you're right, you just pick up the ball and get the out. Star pitch is very similar. On release, the ball splits into 5 star bits that are exactly the same. Outside on the right, outside on the left, and then middle, right, left strikes. And then as they get closer, they all go away until there's only 2 left for the player to guess between. Obviously, there's some interest in that because if there's one in the strike zone and one in the foul zone, you might not want to swing because there's a chance it's foul. If they're all in the strike zone, you're risking getting good contact or bad contact. And they go slow, so you have time to line up your hit. So I thought that might be a unique style for a star pitch to be. So it's about Rosalina's Chem tree. Her slide didn't have it. It's got its own slide. Mario, Polari, Luma, Luba, Comet Tico, and Luigi, because Luigi's the second playable character in Mario Galaxy, and the ante is the same across the board. Bowser, BJ, and Magic Koopa. Final thing to talk about is what Rosalina's stadium would be. I didn't think this one was too hard. The video we have coming out in a day or two was much more difficult. But I figured Rosalina's stadium could be called Rosalina's Comet. It would basically be her little home planet from the game, but you flatten it out, you don't give it this curve they gave it in Smash that you see here. And You have it look, it's all going to basically be, you know, no rough terrain, but it looks like it does in that picture. You have that back wall's got that house and that tree behind it. You have the outer space in the sky rather than, like, you know, Mario Stadium's got the beach. It would look very similar to Mario Stadium, but with that texture of ground and then the sky space instead. However, unlike Mario Stadium, it does have some hazards. Gravity wells that change their location every inning, and I mean full inning. So it's in the same place in the first inning for both batters, and then it switches in the second inning. And I think there'd be 3 in every single time. It changes whether they are strong gravity wells or weak gravity wells. Strong gravity wells will pull the ball down to the ground fast, and weak ones will have it kind of loft back up. It doesn't affect a fielder running through it, but, you know, if you see a strong gravity well and you think the ball's going to be in its arc, you want to go stand right in it because the ball will get brought right down hard. Whereas if you see a ball going through a light gravity well, you might want to get further back because it might loft back up. Additionally, back on the back wall in foul territory are 2 launch stars that when the ball hits them, they get launched back into play. So some of those, like, you know, home runs that are like really good hits that were just foul and you're mad about, they could get put back into play or sometimes even put over the fence for a home run. They're going to be in a similar place to where the chain chomp is in Wario Stadium. So I thought that might be a fun, unique way to get those launch stars in there. I think the gravity wells aren't too busted because it's easy to play around them. If you see a ball going in the one, you just either stand in it or you don't. The light ones don't like launch it over the stadium. It just makes the descent a little slower, which gives it a little more distance. So that is how I would put Rosalina into Mario Superstar Baseball. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, I already made at least one more. A video on how I put another character into the game is going to be coming out tomorrow or the next day. But after that one, I don't have any in the book. So if you really like this style of video, let me know. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know who you'd be interested in seeing added to Mario Superstar Baseball. Maybe I'll make a video about it. Check out Dinger City. That's where all this Mario Superstar Baseball knowledge comes from. And I will see you guys next time. Peace out.